Welcome to our official YouTube channel. Without wasted time, let's start the video. In a quiet town in the United States, there lived an old woman named Margaret. She had once been the heart of her family, the one who raised her children, with love-cooked warm meals every night and stayed awake through long, sleepless nights. Whenever her children were sick, her husband had passed away years ago, leaving her with 3 grown children who promised they would always take care of her, but promises like seasons often change. As time passed, Margaret's children became busy with their own lives. Her eldest son, James, was a successful businessman who cared more about money than people. Her daughter, Linda, lived in another state and rarely called the youngest. Robert had moved back home after losing his job, but instead of helping, he treated his mother as a burden. Margaret's health began to decline. Her hands trembled, her eyesight weakened, and she found it hard to walk. She needed love, care, and company, but what she got instead was silence and neglect. James only visited when he needed her signature for some property papers Linda sent. Short messages always saying she was too busy. Robert, who lived under the same roof, would shout at her for every small mistake. Every morning, Margaret would sit by the window staring at the road outside, hoping someone might visit or talk to her. The neighbors often saw her sitting there wearing the same old gray sweater, her eyes filled with tears that never fell. They offered her help, but she always smiled softly and said, "My children will come soon," yet they never did. One cold winter night, when the wind howled through the empty house, Margaret felt weaker than ever. She tried calling Robert, but he had gone out drinking again. Her hand shook as she reached for her old family photo, the only thing that still gave her comfort. She whispered softly, "I gave you everything, and all I wanted was love." The next morning, when Robert returned home, he found the house unusually quiet. Margaret sat in her chair by the window, the photo still in her hands, her eyes peacefully closed. She had passed away in her sleep, alone, forgotten, and heartbroken. Her death brought shame and guilt to her children. Neighbors gathered for her funeral, speaking kindly of the woman who had once been full of warmth and kindness, but her children stood there in silence, realizing too late that they had lost something priceless, a mother's love. From that day on, the house stood empty. The window where Margaret once sat remained open, as if waiting for her gentle presence. Some say on quiet nights you can still hear her soft voice whispering in the wind, a reminder that love once ignored leaves a silence that never fades. Thanks for watching, and subscribe our YouTube channel.